So keep your eyes set on the horizon, on the line where blue meets blue. And Hey guys, so today's tutorial is all about Cookie Cutter and how to create the different shapes, combinations and things. I literally recreated all of these settings today because I haven't used Cookie Cutter in ages since my computer broke and I got a new one, because often I use New Blue Picture Grid and New Blue Split Screen, which I do recommend because they save a lot of time. But if you don't have New Blue or you just want to use Cookie Cutter, because why not, you can do the exact same things. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now there's also in the description a Sony Vegas 10 plus project with all these different settings in it so that you can quickly save the presets yourself, just because why not. But I'm going to quickly show you how to make them so that you can adjust them as needed or create different combinations of grids and stuff like that. So let's begin. Okay, we're going to start with a top and bottom kind of effect, which will be as so. So to do this, we add the default, which apparently is circle. I pretty much always use rectangle, just to point that out. Size, we make this 500 for this. And then border, I pretty much make 10. Though in Sony Vegas 10 and below, it will look like it's 1. I think they've just added an extra decimal or whatever. But it's not, obviously it's not 10, it's 0.010. Anyway, then we open the center tab, which is the most important because that's going to tell you where you put in your rectangle box thing. Now for this effect, we obviously want it on the top. So we put it up there, make sure that this is 500 just so that the width is correct, as obviously this refers to the horizontal where it's placed and the other vertical. And that is your first one. And we do the exact same thing with the other side. Make this rectangle, make this 0.10, make this 500, center, but obviously because it's the bottom, we shove it all the way down here. Again, make sure that this is 500 for the width. And you're going to get something that looks like this. Now I often, when I make Cookie Cutter videos, add a border to the entire thing that is usually about 10, and it's usually black, just so that it matches this sort of thing, because of the way Cookie Cutter works, and or the way I do it, the border isn't going to go around the whole clip, so that's why I add one for the whole round, just so it looks a bit better. Obviously once you've done this, you're going to want to adjust this in pan crop just so you can see the various different sections. Okay, so that is the really simple like top and bottom Cookie Cutter. It's really easy. It's probably the one of the most easiest. So I'm going to show you the opposite way around where it's horizontal. Again, it's the exact same thing. We grab our Cookie Cutter, we put it to rectangle, we put this to 500, and we add 0.10, center, and this time we just put it to the one side, and you're going to adjust this one to 500 just so that it's even, and then we do the same with the other side, and again you'd adjust this. I'm not going to bore you to death by showing the exact same thing again, but that is that concept where you just, it's playing around with this. Oh, that's not the right one. Cookie Cutter, this center tab of where you want to place it. So you want to put that side, you put it there. You want to put it here, you want to put it up there. So that's the really easy way of doing like just 2 clips side by side split screen wise. Make sure that this is size 500 for that to work. And if you want a border, that is my settings for borders. And that is the simplest Cookie Cutter we have. Another one I've seen around a lot, that's what I'm going to show you because I recreated it today, is one where it's not quite full. As you can see, I've named it. I've named them weirdly, not what they're meant to be. There we go. So, if we put him on the left, I'm going to quickly, he needs to be because of the aspect ratio. Make sure the aspect ratio is correct, otherwise it's gonna look a little weird. Anyway, so we adjust them. I'm just gonna quickly show you what those settings are. I can't remember these off by heart, that's why I have to add the preset. Again, okay, look, it's rectangle. Again, the border is exactly the same. I've obviously made the size smaller because we're not doing the full screen, so I've decided on 315, so it's not half, it's not in the middle, it's slightly bigger than half. And then these were obviously where I placed it. Now, another way of learning how to place them where you want them is to add a grid. So you click this button here, click grid, and you're going to see all these little squares, and it's another way of lining up things to be even, symmetrical and all that. I think it's just like, because if we made this smaller and then we moved it to fit, you know, with these squares, it's just another way of helping you decide where to put things. So those are those settings. Again, they'll be in the description, and if you want me to put them in picture format, let me know and I will do that. And for the right side, which I saw earlier, it's the exact same thing, but as you saw here, I'll quickly show you, the x-axis was 0.180, but because we want it on the other side, you minus 0.180 from 1000 and you will get, wait, you don't get 810. Oh yeah, this, I remember trying this and it was a bit weird, and for some reason you had to be 10 less. I can't tell you exactly why, I can't do maths, but mine were 810 for this side. Feel like I'm probably telling you a lot of nonsense. So I'd suggest just looking at the settings and playing around with them yourself for this to work, but you're going to have to spend time adjusting all this pan and crop to make it look correct. Okay, next one we're going to quickly show you is a diagonal one. I'm not sure mine are quite diagonal. I tried all morning to try and get this to look right, but it wasn't. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna add them both just so you can see both sides. Okay, so for triangle one, you've got to click triangle right for this particular look. It's not quite down the middle, but it's close enough that people aren't going to tell that much. Okay, I can't remember why these settings are as they are, but I'm just going to give you them. So the size was 430. For whatever reason, it's not 500. Should we check? That'll be why. I can't tell you why I decided that. I spent ages figuring this out. But yeah, this is obviously where it's going to be. This triangle thing is a pain in the butt to figure out. So they're just the settings I use, and for her it's the exact same thing. Oh yeah, the exact same thing, but we cut away all but sections. So you can just swap them around by doing this. As you can see, she's on that side, she's on that side. That works for this setting very well. It probably works for other settings. Shall we have a quick look? Can't quite remember if it does. Oh yeah, it will do. It's just the aspect ratio in the, no, not the aspect ratio, the pan crop makes it look like that. So yeah, if you want a quick way to do the other side, you can cut away all but section, or cut away section, I think they're called. Okay, next lot, I'm just going to show you, because lots of people like doing a 4 grid, so 2 by 2. Again, this is another one that is extremely simple. So if we just add a top left 4, basically it's the exact same concept as the I'm going to put this here so you can see, as the 2 by 2, no, right, again 1 by 1 I guess, so the double one, but you shove this in the corner just so you can create an extra square. And that is what you do for each one. So if you can add the same preset and then just move it around. So we want the top right corner, we move this over there, and for them we want the bottom left, we put it down here, and if you want the bottom right, you put it down there. I mean, it's very simple once you get the hang of this. And again, you would sit and spend the time adjusting the pan and crop. I'm not going to do this right now because what a waste of time. I'm going to do this one because I just started it. But yeah, that's what you do, and then you make it all even. Okay, the final one is slightly more complicated, and if anyone knows an easier way, please tell me, because this took me ages, all morning, actually all day, actually, to try and figure out how on earth you do this properly. But I want to give you an example of having an uneven number at the top and an even, like 3 by 2, so like uneven, even, I don't know. So it's not like 3 by 3, because if you wanted 3 by 3, you're gonna have to do some maths here. You would do something where, 1 minute, let's put this in top left. Then see top left for here. Okay, so this is 2 by 2. Now, oh gosh, what am I doing? 1,000 divided by 3 is pretty much 333. So if we put 333 here, you're gonna get that little small thing, and then you'd just, that's how you get 3 by 3. However, that obviously does not work if you want 3 by 2. So to do 3 by 2, we again we do 3 by 33, but we got to move the center down a bit. I've figured out that for some reason it's 830 down. I don't know where I've got that number from. I played around with the grid setting until I, basically reached this line here, which is halfway. Yeah, that's basically what that is. So it just sounds more complicated than it is. The complicated bit is, I'm going to quickly put this one in as you can. Oh yeah. Okay. So the complicated is the middle one. Like if I just quickly mute that, you can see that one's in place in the exact same format. It's just settings. Adjust the other side, so it's 1,000 all the way across and 830 down still. But the middle one, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to do this in one cookie cutter. So as you can see, I've got all my different presets to show you how it works. So I don't know. Oh yeah, I've accidentally done that twice. Oh, I've done it like 3 times. Okay, we'll start with middle A. I can't. This is which one is this the same as? I have no idea. I think I just moved around with the settings. I'm gonna put them all on just so you can see what it looks like. Let's take that off because that gets a bit annoying, doesn't it? Just so that you can see that. Oh, maybe you can do it in 2. Maybe I had that wrong. You can do it in 2 cookie cutters. So if I show you what this looks like without, no, you can't tell, without that one. So you're basically putting that one in, and then the other side you'd be putting it in this side, but because this is on top, it has priority. Now if I quickly show you those settings just so you can get them. They are 3 for 3 again, the exact same thing, and it's 830 again. But the center thing, this side is 3 by 3. Oh, 3, 3, 3. That's because you're a third of the way across. I remember now. And then this one will be 6, 6, 6 because you're like 2/3 away across. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I remember now. It's really simple. And that's how you get that one. And you do the exact same thing on the bottom. You could probably do cutaway section, I think. Or did it not work for this one? I can't remember. But that is the concept. And then if you want to just do something a bit fancy, I remember I quickly copy and paste attributes just so it's on this one as well. The idea was to put black and white just for an extra beat, because if it worked out that way, and you could fade them across just so that they do that sort of effect. And those are all my presets that I figured out today. If there's anything else that you really can't figure out yourself cookie cutter wise, please let me know and I'll try and create a preset for you. But But the idea is to play around with the different numbers. Oh gosh, always happens. On the size, so if you want more grid, you make it a bit smaller and all that. I don't know what one I click. Mine's a bit of a pain. And then you play around with the center and where you place it, just so you can get different combinations of grids and things like that. If you want something different, something a bit weird, you do a circle, you can do an oval, you do whatever you want. You can play around with these arrowheads, and maybe you can get a better effect than I have, because that was a bit of a struggle to do these triangle diagonal. But arrowhead and triangle are the ones you want to experiment with that. Square I rarely use, but I'm pretty sure you could use square for half of these because they're square. I pretty much stick with rectangle. But yeah, there are lots of things you can do with Cookie Cutter. You can play around with the borders, play around with the feather. You can even do things like this where you have odd combinations and stuff. I don't know. But this is the simple way to do it. This is how I do it in my Cookie Cutter videos, how I did it years and years ago now. And it's basically what I recreate in New Blue Effects. But this is this is the traditional way of Cookie Cutter videos. And I hope this helps. I'm sorry I've talked a lot. I'm not very good at explaining it, and I'm trying to get to grips with it again, because I honestly have not used it in ages. But I hope it's helpful. And any other questions, please just let me know.